We're going to move on and talk about the June mock CSAT exams that took place last week. The education authorities have launched an investigation into a possible leak.
Right, and we both shudder at that term because, 수능 CSATs and the fairness and perceived fairness is a monumental issue in South Korea. So this is the National Academic Ability Assessment, aka, as you said, 모의고사, 6월 모의고사, took place on June 4th for high school first and second year students.
Yes.
The exam questions were actually submitted this time by the Busan City Office of Education. So what happens is that there are 17 city and provincial education offices. They all take turns submitting the questions, answers, and the solution books. But reports say that the questions from the English portions and their answers were shared on an open chat that had some 3,200 members, including private academy teachers, about 40 minutes after the test ended. But here's the thing. The questions and solutions are supposed to be disclosed only after when the full exam, all the portions end. So it was shared in the middle of the entirety of the exam. Not supposed to happen. So the Busan Office of Education confirmed that the leaked questions and the answers were the exact same version that they submitted to the exam. But it also further explained that it distributed the questions, answers, and the solutions to the education offices nationwide way back in April. So once these questions left their hands, there was about a 2-month period where they were distributed nationwide. So it is hard to pinpoint where the leak came from. Of course, all 17 of these education offices, including Busan, they have asked the police to investigate. So we'll keep you updated.
Yes, and once again, when it comes to things like education, quite sensitive here. And now we're going to turn to this epic fight, battle royale.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to talk about this whole Trump versus Musk feud. It got hot over the weekend.
It got hot and then cooled down a little bit and then hot again. Cannot get away from this issue on my social media feeds.
Yes.
So the biggest and perhaps the most expensive fight in the world right now. If you owned Tesla stocks, this affected you. Right. So arguably, this is one of the most powerful men in the world, aka the President of the United States, versus, the richest person in the world, Elon Musk. So we ended last Thursday, with Elon Musk leaving his role as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. But almost right after that, he wrote on social media about how Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill, his big tax cut and spending bill, is an abomination, and how that will increase government spending, which is what he fought against. And then when we last left the story, Trump was at least holding back a little bit on his criticism. However, now, neither side is.
Oh, the gloves are off, as we say, right? We had a storm of social media posts from these, as you just said, two very powerful figures over the weekend.
Right. So June 5th local time. So Thursday local time was like D-Day for these comments. So Trump said first that he and Elon had a great relationship, but he doesn't know if they will anymore. And then also stated that he's disappointed in Elon. And by the way, this wasn't on social media. These comments came right from the Oval Office when he was actually doing a press interview with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and he was just kind of sitting there awkwardly as Trump was answering these questions.
Yes.
In any case, the same day, Musk wrote on his platform X, whatever. That was the first line, and said that they should ditch these earmarked bills in the bill. And this is when things kind of fell apart because Elon Musk said without him, Trump would have lost the election. A lot of experts say that this is when the trigger sort of happened because a couple hours later, it turned personal. Trump using words like Elon was wearing thin. He was reaching his limits. That's what it means. And then he actually asked Musk to leave.
Right.
By the way, it's a lot of he said. And Elon Musk allegedly, quote, went crazy when he took away the EV mandate. And then Musk hit back with saying Trump is in the Epstein files.
Yes.
So while this unraveling was going on Thursday, Tesla stocks plunged by 14% because Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. So Musk backed down a little bit after a couple of days, a little cooler. He did delete several social media posts regarding this outburst. However, Trump has said that Elon Musk will pay the consequences consequences if he chooses to fund Democrat candidates who are opposed to the bill. The big, beautiful bill.
So that was a spat overseas. For our next story, though, imagine that you are kind of winding down the weekend, literally when the wall in your home collapses. So this is actually what happened in Yongin. I saw the photos. I couldn't believe it.
That was horrible. So this accident happened last Thursday. So according to the fire authorities in Yongin, Gyeonggi province, a 70-ton drilling rig, it's called 청공기, which is basically heavy construction machinery that literally drills down into the ground. It toppled and fell over onto a nearby apartment building in the middle of the night. And in the photos, in the exterior photos, you see this 44-meter tall machine that's tilted over the apartment building. Thankfully, no one was injured, but parts of the apartment, the walls and the windows were severely damaged.
Right.
Now, YTN reported they interviewed one resident who sent in the photo of his child's room on the 15th floor, where you can see the windows with the frames. I'm not even going to say broken or shattered. It's just torn apart. The entire frame is actually off the wall onto the bed and falling onto the child's desk. And the resident said that there were concrete chunks over the bed.
Yes.
So apparently, though, this was a near miss because his elderly mother, so the child's grandmother, and the kid, they were in the room just until about 5 minutes before that accident. It was when his wife called them out for tea. They left and they were having tea. So the land ministry is working to investigate the exact cause of the accident. And they requested the contractor, DL Construction, for a full safety inspection.
Right.
So the company said that the drill rig has been on standby for the past 5 days. They are going to speed up the compensation process for the residents.
I can't imagine if this had happened. Let's move on and talk about this. Imagine you rent a car. It's very common, especially with summer vacation coming up real soon, and you find something inside the car. It's a gun.
I don't want to imagine. I don't want to live in that world.
Yes.
But this happened in South Korea. And guns in South Korea, they don't really mix, but it involved a military-issued gun. And this is the kicker. No one in the military knew about this until a civilian called it in. So a non-commissioned officer apparently rented a car to go pick up and drive a new conscript soldier to the unit. The rookie soldier had a K2 rifle that was issued to him, but he's a rookie for a reason. Just was not used to holding it on him all the time. Left it in the car. His officer didn't realize it, and he returned the car. The unit also had no idea that a gun was missing. How? I don't know. It was only when someone, a civilian, called the police after they found a gun just in the back seat or in a seat of a rental car 3 days later. So, although, of course, there are no casualties, no property damage, this is a procedural and possible safety lapse. Because, well, number one, the Army's looking into the case, including why an officer used a rental car to drive a soldier. Usually units do have their own vehicles.
Yes.
And also what is going on with their weapons management.
Once again, I can't believe this happened. The fact that somebody actually called it in, that's a good person. What if it wasn't a good person?
Exactly.
Up next, there is another alert on this fast-spreading scam over secondhand platforms.
Right. So, I mean, we've all used the carrot before.
Carrot.
And Busan police, and this is local, arrested 2 individuals, separate scam charges.
Okay.
So-called the triangular scam, 삼각사기, or some people call it 삼자사기, third-person scam.
Okay.
I had to look it up several times. This is so convoluted.
Okay.
So, a suspect, let's just say I'm the scammer. And so you have on that platform something for sale.
Okay.
And then Yeji wants to buy it. I take a screenshot of your post for sale, and then I post it on a separate page. And then she would fall into the trap, message me. I would pretend to be the seller, but then to you, I would also pretend to be the buyer and kind of relay the messages that our producer sends over. So essentially, I mean, details differ. I wouldn't know. I only actually buy things on that platform. Anyways, so Yeji would send you the money. So
right.
I would give her your account number.
Okay.
So I didn't gain any money. So you would send me the stuff. So you didn't lose anything from it.
So I got the money.
Yeah. But then you sold it, so you're fine.
Yeji didn't get the goods.
She sent you the money, but
She's
no
left
goods.
with nothing.
Yeah, because I'm the scammer. So
how are people
convoluted.
so smart, though?
I don't know.
In a bad way.
And as my mom says, if you use your brains for something good, you could be legally rich. So this individual made 25 million won from this. This type of scam became popular. Actually, it's an old method apparently that's come back way back when authorities made it harder to open new bank accounts to prevent fraud. But again, people got creative. Second suspect would post things for sale that didn't exist and then send false parcel deliveries, but then you would still have a track code.
Okay.
So you would, because usually you send the money once they start sending the stuff. So once you got the track code, then the buyer would feel comfortable wiring you the money. Once the payment came through, you can cancel the parcel delivery. This person made 2.7 million won from 7 people.
Okay.
Another woman, by the way, I do see this. I have seen this when you sell like gift certificates. Some people don't crop the barcode. And I've seen someone on my neighborhood page do that, and I sent him or her a message, and I was like, "You need to crop the barcode," and they did. I was like, "People are going to spend this." I'm so concerned. But people did. Is the point, and this person has been booked by the police as well. So the police are saying, yes, they are getting really creative and very diverse. So always use safe transaction services or meet in person if you can.
People are ingenious
so exhausted.
in such evil ways.
Right?
Yes.
Ugh.
We'll check in with you tomorrow for more news. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.